cusp of his 40th birthday, and he suffered a massive, heart attack. And that second, my life turned upside down. So I'm Priya Pinto. Why me? Why us, Lord? So I turned around and I said to her, why not you?
Or how important is it to grieve a loss?
Grief, Pooja, is truly a choice.
That is something we fear, right? A parent's loss, a husband's loss, a child's loss.
Death needs to be normalized.
So when we lose someone, somewhere even laughing feels like guilt.
If I'm having fun, that means I didn't love him. But to get this reputation, I made the last interviewer also cry.
So can you tell me something that happens at your meetups? From a widow group, they would never expect.
Am I in the right room? Are these women widows? What are the words that come to your mind when I say the word widow?
Sadness, loneliness, alone, bichari.
Bichari, pity, right?
Do you think that the loss of a child somewhere goes unseen?
When I saw my kids hiding my husband's photograph,
Women deserve a second chance at love.
third and fourth and fifth.
So you have to get as funny as possible, okay?
Try.
Yes, widow, okay? So colorful clothes, my God.
I lost my husband. I didn't lose my sense of style.
Defy Mode On. Defy Mode On. Life fucked me. Rules all gone.
Pleasure meeting you.
Very warm welcome, Priya Pinto, to Defy Mode On.
Thank you, Pooja. Very happy to be here.
It's our pleasure. So firstly, I would like to start with congratulating you on the 5 fearless, fabulous years of
5 years.
Widow Warriors.
Yeah.
How did that thought come in? What was the moment that you thought that I want to start Widow Warriors?
Okay, it's a very personal story,
Yes.
right? So I think the story of Widow Warrior starts with my own story. So I was born and brought up in Bombay.
Right.
And I was very fortunate to meet my husband. He was my childhood sweetheart. I met him when I was 9 years old.
Wow.
And I met him in the church choir. And it was really a very beautiful love story. And when we got married, he was a young engineer. He had moved to Dubai. So I followed him and I came here. And we built the most, quintessential perfect life. It was really, really beautiful. Everything that Dubai stands for, we were living in this beautiful home. Our kids went to great schools. We had, super set of friends. And, I remember a month before my husband passed away, I was having a conversation with my father. And I remember actually saying these words to him. I said, Dad, I'm so happy. I'm scared. I don't think one person is supposed to be so happy. And then just on the cusp, he was 39, on the cusp of his 40th birthday, where we were planning this big surprise. He didn't know, but all our friends were flying in all over the world to be there. And it was Valentine's Day, 2014. And he suffered a massive, heart attack on the football field. There was really no indication before. So in that second, my life turned upside down. So that was 12 years ago, right? So it starts with my own story of being a widow. My kids were very young. They were just 7 and 9. Johan was 9 and Jana was 7. So I remember myself just looking for resources, looking for a way to help me navigate this. So I had to switch careers. I was a writer and I went back to corporate and I did all of that. So I was seen, at least from the outside, oh, she's bought her home, she's putting her kids through school. So I was kind of seen maybe as a role model in, as someone who has lost someone and has rebuilt. So I had done some volunteer work in Rashid Hospital prior to my husband passing. So there was a lady there, Pam, who I knew very well. And she would, of course, her paths would intersect with other widows. So she would say, go and talk to Priya. And I remember there was a lady called Charu. So I remember Charu coming home and I told her my story. She said, Priya, if you can do it, so can I. And then, of course, there were more ladies that were sent my way. And when we were about, I think, 5 of us, I said, listen, the power of sharing stories and community where people who have gone through the same thing is so powerful. I said, I've got to get these 5 women together. That's when I decided to formalize, okay, I've got to find a structured way in which I can help them. And that led me to becoming a coach.
I already feel that vibe of strength, right? Sitting with you and listening to your story. The vibe, the air is full of strength. But tell me, when a person goes through a loss, like you said,
Yeah.
right? Like there's practicality that comes into
Sure.
picture, there is children that come into picture. You got to look at your own finances.
Yeah.
Do you think that this element of life does not let you grieve?
What really happens is at the immediate aftermath, it's fight, flight, or freeze. And I've seen this. I've seen this across
Yes.
the world, right? So in my particular case, it was fight because especially in this country, there's so much of documentation. There's no time. I was at the court one day. I was shifting schools the other day. I was shifting houses. So you're absolutely right. The practicalities hit first. There are some that just freeze. They can't do anything, right? And there are some who just flight is just, I'm not
Run
thinking
away.
about it right now, correct? So people deal with it differently. And I think then life happens. And like it or not, it puts you, like it can be a birthday or it can be Christmas. And then whether you like it or not, the loss is all the more, certain and at that time. So more tangible at that time. And that's when you deal with it.
But a lot of people around us, whenever anything happens, right, anything unexpected happens, people around us to say that time will heal this. Do you believe that this grief or a loss can ever be, time can actually make you forget that?
Grief, Pooja, is truly a choice. And I know it's really hard. Like, come on, you've lost somebody. It's natural to feel these human emotions, right? So I'm going to tell you a story. Say you're an alien and you've come to, Earth for the first time. And you go to Western society and you see someone die. And when you do, you see people crying. In some cultures, they're tearing off their clothes, they're covering mirrors, they don't go out, they don't eat. So as an alien, it's okay, I have to live here. This is what I'm supposed to do. Or this is what happens when someone dies, right? Then the same alien is transported, say, to South America, to a tribe in the Amazon. And there someone dies. And he sees that they're partying. They're having a great time. Everybody's laughing and just really happy. It's the biggest celebration. Now, if you're the alien and you're choosing to live on Earth, what would you choose? It's a no-brainer, right? Okay, it is true. This is how grief is handled in Western cultures. It's also true that there is a tribe in the Amazon that celebrates death. The only thing that's not true in this statement is the alien. And the reason it's an alien, because an alien represents a non-conditioned person. If from the time we are born, the only narrative that we're given about death is grief and your life is over, that's how it's conditioning, right? Death needs to be normalized. So grief, truly, that's an event. It's going to happen to all of us. But what happens after that, that's in our hands.
So honestly, here in this conversation, two things that completely gave me goosebumps is one, of course, that you said grief is a choice, which is honestly, yes, a very strong statement and a very true one. And the other one is death needs to be normalized because since childhood, I think that is something we fear, right? A parent's loss, a husband's loss, a child's loss. And I think just that thought, of course, you've dealt with that entire thing, but just that thought gives a person like me goosebumps. So it is very, very deep. But another thing that I would like to know from you, and something that I believe I have seen, right? Grief is something, so when we lose someone, somewhere, even laughing feels like guilt, right?
Again,
and
conditioning.
That is...
It's again
and
conditioning.
that's a very strong conditioning.
Right.
It's
If
a
having
turmoil,
fun,
right?
if I'm having fun, that means I didn't love him.
Yes.
And I
didn't do justice to that love.
I had a very beautiful story. It was a post, right? But I think it's really worth repeating. There was this lady who was talking about her 40th birthday was coming and a big party was planned. And 2 days before that, her son, I think, was suicidal and, had to be checked into a psychiatric hospital, right? So for her, it was a no-brainer. I'm going to have to cancel the party.
Right.
And then her husband said, you know what, we can't go and visit him. So anyway, we can't be there. Let's go ahead and have the party. So they went ahead and have the party and she just forgot everything. She let her hair down and she had a really good time. But she struggled with the guilt after, like, what kind of a mother am I? How could I party when my son's there? I don't know if he'll try and take his life again, etc. Right? And she was sharing the story with someone else and he said to her, he said, the best gift you could have given your son was celebrating your birthday. Because I did this to my parents. And if I learned that they even had to cancel their party, you're just adding to my guilt, right? But by you living your life fully, you give me one less thing to feel guilty about. You need to give yourself permission that, don't you think the one who loved you, do you really think they'd want you to be, sad and miserable? They'd want you to have a party from day one. That is the real truth. Now, I'm not saying that tears, I've not cried for my husband. Of course I do. I can hear a song today and a tear can come to my eyes. But that's me missing him, okay? And thinking about good memories. That's very different. What most people do, like I always say, two types of grief. Missing you grief. That's always going to be there.
Yes.
But I'm thinking of something really good. I've lived that, I've lived that memory. But most of the time, I'm feeling sorry for myself. And it comes disguised as I'm missing him. And I've called out the ladies in my group a lot on this. My car broke down and I had to change my tire for the first time. I really miss him. No, you miss the fact that he changed the tire for you.
You miss
the fact that now there's no dual income coming in. You miss the fact that there are lovey-dovey couples and you don't have someone. So let's be very clear, I said. You're feeling sorry for yourself. And then if you choose you want to be a victim, that's okay. But differentiate the two. And then nobody wants to be a victim, right? So yes, human emotions are there. But, if seen in the context that this is normal, like it's always said to me, someone had a really profound loss. I think when someone loses a child, I can't think of anything more. And I've held space for a lot of people. Someone had a really profound loss. I think when someone loses a child, I can't think of anything more. And I've held space for a lot of people. And the lady said to me, she said, all the time, I say, why me? Why us, Lord? We were, a happy family. Why us? So I turned around and I said to her, why not you? And she was stunned. And I said, when you were blessed with 2 children, did you say, why me, Lord? When you were given this house, did you say, why me, Lord? That time we don't question, right?
Honestly, these are some really hard-hitting, honest statements.
I think I'm going
to bringing me also.
No, but I think I'm going to get this reputation. I made the last interviewer also cry. Why is that happening? I'm smiling. You're good. What's making you cry?
I don't know. So honestly, this is not my reality.
Yeah.
But it is my fear.
Yes. So it's very important. Just focus on what you have, Pooja. Focus on what you have. And if you're focusing on what you don't have, which is fear, what if this happens? Then, your reality would be that.
So, Priya, we are back after that short emotional moment that I had. And honestly, it's because of your hard-hitting statements that were very, very honest, that can actually touch a raw nerve. So, you know what you remind me of?
Yeah.
You remind me of this Japanese art. I'm sure you've heard of it. That if a pottery or anything breaks, they actually do not hide the marks.
Absolutely.
They fill it up with gold and make it a more beautiful piece.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's what you just reminded me of.
Yeah. It's a good name of the art form is not coming, but I know
It's
exactly
kintsugi.
Yes, correct, yes.
And it also reminds me of a statement that you have given on your social media. I would love it if you can say that, because it's again very hard touching, about a wound being a portal of light.
Yeah. Oh, that's Rumi's statement. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's in my book too. Your wound is where the light enters you. And that is so, so true.
So can you tell me something that happens at your meetups that the society would never expect?
Oh, yeah.
From a widow group, they would never expect
Oh my
that.
gosh, this happens all the time. So recently, all of us decided to get our wills. We're doing our wills because we knew what happened when our husbands passed without our wills, right? So we had a lawyer that was coming to meet us. You can see the double take. Like, am I in the right room? Are these women widows? So that's the first thing, right? The first thing is, how are you all smiling? How are you all so happy? That's the first thing.
Wow.
Okay. And I think this just comes down to the word widow. It really does. If I were to ask you, and be honest, okay, what are the words, if you play word association, what are the words that come to your mind when I say the word widow?
Sadness, loneliness, alone. Yes. Happiness is not something that immediately
sadness,
comes in, right?
loneliness, alone, pity.
Bichari.
Pity, right? Bad luck, cursed, right? These are the words that are associated with the word widow, like it or not. That's the programming with the word widow. So it makes people extremely uncomfortable.
Yes.
And not only the world, our own widows. They would say, I like everything about it, but I don't like the name Priya. I've heard this every time a new warrior comes in. And I always say to them, like, okay, we are a widow, that's happened, right? but we get to write the story after that. Let's redefine what widowhood means, because how many young ladies or girls are going to follow us, and as soon as they have this title, they have, okay, a widow has to behave in a certain way.
Yes.
But if we redefine it, they see us as joyful, having fun. It's different. So let's embrace the fact that we're widows, but let's redefine it. We've got subgroups now.
Yes,
So we have,
I did read about that.
we have widow warriors, say, fitness. We have widow warriors, wellness. Or we have widow warriors, kids, where we're going to enrich our kids' lives. We even have widow warriors, dating.
That's amazing,
There
right?
are so many young, widows on the
Yes.
group. And actually, for most of us, I would say, not all of us, but for most of us, our husbands were the only man we knew in every sense of the word. First boyfriend and then husband.
Right.
So going back to dating is like learning your ABCs again. Oh,
That's
yes,
also beautiful,
absolutely.
right?
We have two of the widows in our group who've got remarried. I mean,
Wow.
how beautiful is that? So absolutely. And, there was a full circle moment that I'm just so proud of. One of the kids of the widow warriors is now helped another kid get a job. In fact, she's probably going to help 4 people. She reached a position of influence, and she's making sure, going to the boss and said, listen, they may not have the experience on paper. You want heart? You want single moms who'll do anything? Interview them, right? So
Wow.
that makes such a difference. And I'll say that or to anyone. They think you're a single mom. Oh my God, she'll have so much of,
responsibility.
she has such a drive within her. They will be your best employees.
So Priya,
Yeah.
you've written a book, right?
Yes.
It's called Ma, Will Life Be the Same Again? And honestly, just listening to the title, I've not read it, but the title gets tears to our eyes, right? Do you think that the loss of a child is somewhere underrated or somewhere goes unseen because a child is maybe unable to express, and the woman who's lost her husband somewhere goes into a spiral of her own loss?
Yeah.
Do you feel that the child does feel unseen?
Absolutely. I mean, this is so close to my heart. Overnight, my kids, we had to change school, change house. Their mom who's at home, has to go back to working, right? So they've lost their dad, and now you have to help them navigate this change. So there are 6 stories in the book, and the first one deals with this, Ma, will life ever, be the same again?
Right.
The second one is, Ma, will the pain go away? Because that's when it hits. And exactly like you said, we were 3 of us in the house processing grief completely differently. I was going into the bathroom in fetal position and crying, or in the car, or for some reason in grocery lines is where I felt like, not that my husband ever came to the grocery with me, but that's where I did my crying. My son suppressed completely, and my daughter wanted to talk about it. There were 3 different things in the house, and the day I, was vulnerable in front of my children and we could talk about it, everything changed. Then the third was, Ma, why is everybody treating us differently? It hit me so hard when my 7-year-old came home and just said to me, I'm tired of being the kid with the dead dad. What do you say to a kid when they're saying that, right?
Yeah, that's
because
heavy.
it's very heavy. And the teachers were trying to do a good job, but they were overcompensating and they just don't want it. Okay, that's one story. Can life go back to normal? As a kid, you just want life to go back to normal, right? Then there was about building new traditions, because we're doing well. And then, like in my case, Christmas came and my husband puts the star at the top of the tree, and you're trying not to cry. You're trying to be strong. So my son picked up my daughter and she put the star on top of the tree. And now it's been 12 years and they're grown and they're grown and they're grown.
And I saw that photo and it's beautiful.
It's one of my favorite new traditions. So how you can make new traditions. And then I was meeting the widows. I was seeing them make quote unquote the same mistakes, right? For example, because of the memorial, there was a big blown up picture of my husband. And that came home. And when I saw my kids hiding my husband's photograph, when the other kids came, it hit me. They don't want this big reminder of death in your living room, because that's what it is.
Yes, and that's what most of the people do.
Exactly. So we took it down and we made a collage of his CDs. That's also his memory, but that's a work of art and we know that.
That's beautiful. So Priya, apart from Widow Warriors, you are also a transformation coach. So you just don't help widows with their journeys. You do help other people who have somewhere been affected with life and are facing difficulty in moving on, you also transform them, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us
absolutely.
something about
the
that?
start was definitely with Widow Warriors in
Yes.
finding a way to help the women and
Right.
help myself. And then I got certified as a transformation coach. So I ran a program called the Awakened Heart program.
Right.
Okay, it runs about 5 weeks. And generally people, because of my story, yes, if it's loss, whether it's death, divorce, heartbreak, I mean, they would definitely resonate. But you could just be stuck in life. You could have no
Right.
answers. You know, you're being stuck in a loop and you just don't know how to get out of it.
Right.
And I help them bring the joy back into their life.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so much,
No,
Priya.
thank you
This
for
was
having me.
such a heart-touching conversation. We just have one very quick section,
Okay.
which is called Defy or Accept.
Okay.
So I will give you statements. Either you defy it out front or you accept it.
Okay.
No playing safe. Women heal faster where there's chai, gossip, and good company.
100%. I think everything is better when there's food and good company. So,
Superb. Laughter after grief feels illegal at first.
yes, and that's conditioning. And that's programming. And that's something we need to change.
Women are far more emotionally powerful than society realizes.
I think society realizes.
You don't have to stop living to honor someone you lost.
You honor someone you lost by living.
Wow. Women deserve a second chance at love.
And third and fourth and fifth, why only 2 chances?
Women can turn pain into humor faster than men can process emotions.
I think men feel they don't have a permission to feel emotions, that they can't express, forget processing. Conditioning there again, yes.
Thank you so much, Priya.
Yeah, my
This
pleasure.
was very heart-touching. Thank you.
you.
Are you up for some fun now?
Let's go for it, yes.
Let's go for it and let's switch our fun mode on.
Now let's switch the fun mode on. Full of drama, entertainment, and zero filters. Our widow warriors should hoot loudest for this one. So you have to get as funny as possible, okay?
Try.
Yes. Okay, so now we have this segment called Auntie Ki Adalat. You know, where you have these gossipy neighborhood aunties who say all taunty things, who make us feel like, wow. So we have to like, you know, I will be that auntie and you have to do a comeback to me.
All right.
Okay? Let's see how well you do this.
Okay.
Widow होके इतने रंग बिरंगे कपड़े, so colorful clothes, my God.
I lost my husband. I didn't lose my sense of style or humor or common sense.
बच्चों को जरा ध्यान दो, नहीं तो यही वही मंडराती रहती है. So much social, you're such a social bird, you're so socially active.
A mother who's happy and living a full life can bring up children really well. But you want me to be miserable at home and just nag them? Every meeting is a party. So,
देखती हूँ next time मैं आके जरा देखती हूँ क्या होता है तुम्हारे सपोर्ट ग्रुप में.
we have fun, we dance, we laugh, go for
ठीक
it.
है, देखते हैं. ये सपोर्ट ग्रुप है या किटी पार्टी इन डिस्गाइज ग्रुप है?
It's not in disguise. All our meetings are parties.
आफ्टर योर हस्बैंड पास्ट अवे तुम कितनी बदल गई हो, कितनी खुश रहने लगी हो. ये कैसे हो सकता है?
My life changed. I had to change. Otherwise, I would be living in the past.
Now we move on to our next segment, the fun questions, and we have to get as funny as possible.
Okay.
Remember, our support group has to hoot for us throughout. If your life was a movie scene, which dialogue would you say? Like a little filmy style.
Dialogue, I know, but the scene definitely Rocky comes to mind. You know,
Okay.
he's in the ring and he's getting punched, and no matter how many times he goes down, he comes up. I think that's all of us.
Wow.
He'll take it on the
Wow.
chin and we'll always come up.
I love it. So good. If you had to make a biopic on Priya Pinto, which actor would fit the bill?
I think Taboo. I like her. I like all the shades of her.
Okay, nice. Tell me your favorite 3 entertainers in Dubai.
Favorite 3 entertainers or things I do for entertainment? So I do go for comedy and there's live acts all the time. And I like the live bands that come to Dubai.
Okay.
Yeah, and the women in our group, they entertain me the most.
And I can so imagine this. Okay. So do women give dating advice to each other?
We share our experiences and we learn from them, yeah? Absolutely.
Wow, I would love to be in the dating advisory group.
I'm sure you would. We should
I'm coming next
we
time.
will give you honorary membership. Yeah.
Thank you. Widow Warrior was a reality show. What it would be called?
Is that all you got? Basically, I would have people be put into really difficult situations, like you have no money, get food on the table, you've just lost your job, how do you handle? We put people in really difficult situations and see how they got it. Because I think all of us says, is that all you got? Give it to us. We can handle it all. So.
Super. Yeah, I will send Ranveer Singh and Ranveer Kapoor as to do a cameo so that the ladies and the warriors are like enamored with it. I think a little more entertainment.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you be part of the Dubai playing?
No, I think we all deserve our own episode. We've had so many seasons.
You know, actually, we need to get ideas like this. I'm sure many will approach us. And I and Pooja can do cameo on that.
Okay.
What's your hidden talent that nobody expects?
Speed. I do things really fast. I have a special relationship with time. I can pack more in 1 hour than people do in a day.
I've experienced that a little with you. So what's stronger, the Dubai AC or attitudes?
I think Dubai AC you use for some part of the year. My attitude helps me throughout with all seasons.
Super! Which one are you? Desert Safari Queen, Marina Glam Queen, or the Karama Deal Hunter?
I love my time in the deserts and I love a good deal too. Maybe not the marina bit.
So be honest, the group has more of gossip session or emotional discussions?
Honestly, we don't gossip because whatever we need to say to each other and even pull each other's legs, we do it on the face. And emotions are part of what we do, yeah.
Perfect. If your group had a theme song, what song would it be?
So I had a close friend of mine, Klein, he wrote a beautiful song, Strong and Fearless. But I think so many songs, because we have so many avatars, so Dancing Queen or even Roar or Unstoppable, I think a mixture of all of that is who we are.
Super. I heard this song during a fire celebration and it was fab. I loved it. 2 things that society always asks you that deserves your mute button.
The auntie, all her questions.
Perfect. So ignore mode on. So we had too much fun and I'm sure our widow warriors sitting there and already hooting for us and laughing on this because they got to see a funnier side of you. So now, like we interviewed you, I would like you to recommend somebody who you think has a story to tell, who we can feature next.
So there's Sujit. I don't know Sujit's story. Sujit is just one of the most inspirational person in Dubai. You should definitely have him on. And I think every widow in the Widow Warriors group deserves her own show.
I
Everyone
agree.
is so inspiring.
I totally agree.
There is Charu specifically who's gone through something besides her loss. She's recently had a brain injury and she's been so strong trying to get through to that too. And she's ready. You should have her on. Absolutely.
I'm going to approach her next, okay? And I'm going to tag them and I'm going to ensure this reaches to them.
Definitely.
So they agree to be here. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Priya. This was
you.
such a
Thank you so
beautiful
much.
conversation.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate this. Thank you.
I think we've taken a lot of life lessons from you.
Okay.
Yes. We have a mirror here
Okay.
that says I am magic.
I love that. Absolutely.
Please look into it and tell your younger self something that you would recommend or advise today.
You're perfect just the way you are, and you have an amazing life to look forward to.
We cry, we live, we heal, every moment, every tear is real, yeah. We fix each other's crowns with grace. No one's alone in this sacred
Stay real
Stay unapologetic
and keep your Defy mode on.